I'll have hair forever. That's
All right, everybody. What is up? Sure, we love the side of your head, Barry. What's up, everybody? We're here with number 50 of the No Carnival Parking podcast. And once again, it's a fucking circus up here, which is how we like it.
The show was incredible, right, Clint?
The show tonight, ribs and figs in the house. We had an incredible show. Everybody got personal time with these guys. They spent so much time after the show just hanging out with everybody. Every single person that came to the show got personal time with you guys, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, so personal. We even brought up 2 people to come upstairs and join us. You know, we're getting them drinks. I was trying to say, guys, we got stuff to do. Go away. Nope. They insisted on coming upstairs. Yeah. I mean,
they love comedy.
They love comedy.
Cindy and Patrick, they have names, by the way. You may want to shout
Cindy
them
and
out.
Patrick and all 95 of the people that bought tickets tonight. Boy, oh boy, what an extravaganza. We want to thank
these people at home missed out.
There were so many people I couldn't believe
the Dojo of Comedy.
There were so many.
I was getting worried about the COVID situation. I mean, we were not.
I think if we BS a little too much more of this, people are not going to realize. They're going to think that it was a bomb of a show. So I think we should move on to something else. And we've made it clear that it was a hot night, right? And if we, excuse me, I'm talking right now. Sorry. So if we're going to tag this bullshit, then people are going to think that the show was a bust.
Agreed.
Barry, don't be a fucking Debbie Downer right now.
It was standing room only. Am I right, Fig?
Goddamn right.
So let's stop the tagging and let's move on to who masturbated the last hour.
We were looking for you.
Who did masturbate? Louis C.K. came, actually. That's crazy that he was here. He dropped in, did a guest spot. All he did was jerk off. We were like, all right, the king. I guess that's a new bit.
Gotta let it rock.
And Cindy didn't mind.
Why would you ask in the last hour? You jerked it in the last hour?
I know, we were all together.
I know, we've all been here.
When did you...
Hold on, one at a time.
How do you think he gets his hair to stay up like that?
It's all cum.
Barry's the winner. Obviously.
Yo,
cum would probably be a pretty good hair gel, right?
Yo,
if the movies have taught us anything.
Thank you, man.
Did you remember that toothpick, or you like to do the Stairmaster? You like to exercise? You like to... go ahead.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So I get all the exercise I can get.
The
this
mic
is not
isn't
going to be
picking
funny,
him
I'm
up.
sure.
Just block the camera.
The
You're
mic
blocking
isn't
the
picking
camera
up.
and not talking into the mic.
This is no Carnival Parking at its finest.
I can't afford that. I can't afford that. Way too much.
You mean New York State? New York State can't.
Yeah, you're right. Guys, I used my unemployment card to pay for this tab.
We're all on unemployment. I didn't get a card, though. What the fuck is that about?
Yeah, bro.
I'm on New York State unemployment, and I'm just riding the coattails of whatever I get, and, you know.
I got a card. I flipped it over because I'm so nervous that someone would see the numbers. There's only $400 left on it.
Cindy and Patrick, when they rewatch this, might see the card.
Yeah,
So, what are we talking about today? Because Clint is busy and...
Clint is not
That's
the
what
most
happens
useful.
when we do the podcast.
No,
Clint
I'm not the most useful. I'm running cameras and trying to tweet and everything else.
You didn't let me finish. I mean, like, in terms of the dialogue, he's not very
and he's
useful.
not me.
Hey, Mike Figiola,
Yeah,
fuck
Mike Figiola,
off.
go fuck yourself.
You fucking get all Mike Figs.
I think he's an editor for New York Times, but that's fine, right? We can still say go fuck yourself.
Let's find him.
Wait, what did he do?
Mike.
No, so every time someone tags me, they go at Mike Figs, and he gets tagged. He has the little Twitter check. So everyone goes, oh, that might be Mike Figs, but it's not. It's some other guy.
Do you have a Twitter check?
No.
Oh.
But I have more followers than that.
Hey,
dude.
Jack. Fucking get him a Twitter
Can we
check.
include our guests here? They are
buddy.
very nice, charming people.
Yes.
Can we get the microphones, Dave? Can you make
I
it
pay for their drinks. They're fine.
I'm more useless than Clint.
Dave just started comedy. This is his first open mic.
This is my first open mic. We're doing it right now.
He doesn't even know
Good
what
for you.
comedy is. He has zero time
These
under
are
his
two
belt.
good people,
It's just like Rogan.
and I'm sober, so...
Pretend you're Alex Jones.
Yeah, man.
Got it, Pat.
Oh, you
Return
don't
of
have
the
to tell
Frogs,
me.
gay Joe.
You don't have to tell me.
People.
Come on, man. I
Thank
know all
you,
about
Brian.
that pedophilia ring.
Don't touch
The
a
frogs
star
are gay.
again. Thank you, Brian.
I know all
Tell the frogs in all Congress. It's only a matter of time to all the frog people, they go down to Congress, and we're going to intergalactical beings. Men in Black 2 was a travesty.
It's like, what? What are you talking about, Alex?
And what are your thoughts on Sandy Hook, Alex?
Well, I'll tell you right now, Sandy Hook.
That sounds like it
never happened.
Like a hole in their throat.
I used to be a smoker. Barry Ribs, I used to be a smoker. Come on,
That'd be
Barry
funny if
Ribs.
Alex Jones was the guy for the smoking.
Are we
thing.
starting?
Yeah, we've started. This is the podcast,
Yeah.
Barry. This is
What is this called?
No carnival parking. The sign's behind that curtain over there.
No carnival parking.
Yeah.
We
get the
workshopped
sign,
that.
Mike.
We sent out marketing
No,
shit. and
actually,
we came
there
back.
it is right there. So when I was cleaning this lovely space out, I moved that sign 50,000 fucking times as I moved stuff, and every day I just looked at no carnival parking. So as we were thinking of a name for the club's podcast,
Gotcha.
became
That's
no
how-
carnival parking.
That's how Joe Rogan came up with his name.
Yeah.
It's like Joe Rogan Experience.
He was like, "Why do I have
That's a
this
good
sign
name.
that says
Yeah.
my
Dumb
Joe Rogan
sign.
Experience?" I keep
So
having
this-
to move.
This is a live stream.
Yes.
Do we have any questions popping up or anything?
Oh,
Let
where's
me
the cat guy?
Oh yeah, Gus. What's
his name?
Bub's
Jinx,
cat.
you're gay.
Bub's cat.
Do these guys
Jinx,
laugh at
you're
just
gay.
anything, Vic? Is that?
We are guests, Barry.
We're guests,
We gotta
okay.
fit in.
Yeah,
My
Barry.
Nobody knew,
Know your
uh,
place. This is no longer. We're not downstairs anymore.
Please do
Oh
not.
You
shit!
can't tell me
Dave's
to shut
trying
up.
Barry, we failed them.
Do not
We
speak to a
failed
veteran
them,
like
Barry.
that.
Mike, that sounded like a threat and shit.
Sheba Mason is here next week, and she sold more fucking tickets. We failed them, Barry. Be nice, goddammit.
Be humble, like. Be
Sheba
humble.
Be humble, be humble.
Hey, at one point we had 2 concurrent viewers on this so far.
Holy shit, that Matt. Never mind. We had a great show.
Screaming about Sheba, and they left.
Dude, we need Bub's cat, man.
Mike, you got Sheba here a week from tonight?
He watched one.
He doesn't do podcasts a lot because he's not talking to the
Sheba's
mic.
very talented.
You would be amazed how many comedians come up here and totally fucking forget how a microphone works once they get into the room. I'm like, don't you do comedy and walk around talking to that, right? And they're like, hey, all right. You get it, right? No?
Wait. Am I not talking into the mic?
No, you are.
Oh, cool.
Barry
No,
was.
you're
No, we're
Barry's
talking about
No,
Barry.
Barry's-
We were doing Barry.
Is there any questions for the veteran here?
Nobody's,
I
the
got a
one
question for
person doesn't want to write anything.
I got a question.
2
for
of them,
Barry.
so-
Yeah, yeah.
We're
We could
gonna get
ask him
clips.
questions. I got it.
That's a good question.
That's
Barry,
a great
when did
question.
you lose
That
your
was gonna be
virginity?
my
Because
question.
Barry's
I
a
want to
perv.
know the year, not your
Before or
age.
after World War II?
Yo, it was 1754.
It was a motherfucking.
You came up with a sexual question like.
You're an old bastard. Come on, let's go.
Not dirty old bastard.
Cindy,
Don't
when he
be
gets
confused
drunk,
with dirty
he
old
gets
bastard.
Mean and shit.
No.
No. Just
When did you lose your virginity?
2014.
That's so recent.
That's good though.
You're older.
I'm 28.
Oh, I would have guessed 30.
You're older,
No, I'm
he
kidding.
says.
That's mean.
Oh,
I'm
I
sorry.
feel old now.
No, I'm sorry. That was mean.
You guys are basically brothers.
That was
Look at the
mean.
2 of them.
Yeah, pretty well. He just got a full of
Wow. All right.
He's got salt and pepper hair.
Yeah, that's why.
I'm a young George Clooney. Come on.
I thought that guy was way older than 28.
Ryan
Right,
Gosling.
right.
That's because you
All
guys
right,
are
I'm
so
not-
young.
Yeah.
I'm not mean. I didn't mean to be mean. I was
How
just
old are
like,
you?
Not to be
26?
mean, but you look way older than 28.
How old
'Cause
are
I'm
you,
28.
Dave?
I'm 28 and I
Oh,
look
wait,
28.
That's not
How old are you, Clint?
41.
diss.
Thank God, I'm
It's
31.
like, hell yeah, dude, you're
I just-
mature.
I'm like 28, 29. I'm like, at least I got, I'm
How old are you?
right there together. 31.
That's right.
I just turned 31. You don't look for, I thought you were 31.
Freely.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I'll take it.
This is
But
chaos.
How old
I'm
is
not
Clint?
So free with my age
What?
anymore.
How old are you?
We just had the discussion. I'm 41.
We're going to start talking about deodorant in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
What
it,
deodorant
it,
do
it
you
was
use?
like us doing the dating stuff. How long you guys been dating? How old are you?
How old are you, man? Really? Wow. Did your
I'm
dad call you on
41.
your birthday? Like, you get, it's not
All
going to
right,
be
cool.
comedy.
Now, Barry, how? No.
I'm
get real
41. I enjoy snowboarding, riding dirt bikes, and occasionally coke.
Look, I mean, it's always good. I got to position myself
Occasionally
decent
go.
for this camera. Barry, I have a real question for you.
Please.
We did this show. It was a great show. I feel like you respect me more after the show. And I have some questions for you, some things that I never got to ask you. Because when I met you, we were doing Chrissy Mayer's podcast. We were talking about tits. We were talking about porn. I want to ask you something different besides that stuff.
Please.
You always talk about, you're
This
a
is
vet.
a long setup, so get right to the fucking
It
question.
better
What
be
is
good,
your
huh?
favorite? What was your favorite gig? Like, what's the biggest gig you've ever had? Like, who did you work with where you're like, yo, this was amazing?
Didn't you have a feeling, TJ, he was going to ask something outside of
I
like
did.
stand
For a little bit, I did. But then he,
No, I wanna
hey
give
man,
you
he nailed it
stand-up.
home. That's a good question. I actually am
I
genuinely
never
interested
got to,
too.
we've
You're the
never had
veteran.
this conversation. I've
I'll answer it this way. I've been very blessed to have some highlight experiences.
Shout out God.
Some highlight experiences. I think I'm a little jaded in a way because I've done the Apollo Theater.
Hell yeah.
I've done another theater of 3,000 seats. I've done 10 gigs with D.L. Hughley. And there's so many highlights, thank God, I probably would forget a percentage of them. But that's what comes to mind. Does that answer your question?
For sure. How many times have you done the Apollo?
Once.
Was it one of those things where like the Sandman comes out, or did you?
Well, it was a space in the theater, a separate space called the Apollo Comedy Club. As far as the theater itself, that was not the space. It was the Apollo Comedy Club inside the theater. I did audition on the Apollo stage to be on maybe the TV version or whatever. And there was 2 people to check out what you did, and one didn't even bother to fucking listen. And sometimes people that are in that power, they call them gatekeepers, could look at you and go, I'm not interested on surface alone. He just doesn't fit our criteria. And that's how I felt from one of the 2, okay? So I know that's long-winded, but I've been literally on the Apollo stage auditioning for the show, but I didn't think I got a fair shake. But I made that clear about 2 minutes ago,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have
That
you ever-
was.
yeah.
I was gonna say I was long-winded, and just
Yes, he
because
was.
you were making fun of Mike for taking too long to ask the question.
Yes.
So I just wanted to be fair.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out
I
to be
call
fair.
it.
No, but I was locked in. I mean, you know.
Yeah, but as a veteran, Dave, I want to warn you right now, your ass is mine, no homo.
I know.
I'll
It's
go.
okay. Let's do it,
I
man.
was a little homo.
We're gonna go to war.
A little bit homo.
We're
But I
going
said
to war.
that no
Your
homo.
ass is mine.
I said no homo.
What do you-
He said
But
no
I said
homo.
In the ass?
What do you guys?
I said no
That's
homo.
very gay.
TJ doesn't even know the
Dude,
rules.
after,
You say
every
no
single
homo.
time I suck a dick, I'm like, no homo. And they're like, all right, no worries about it.
That's exactly.
No homo, but I'm gonna sniff that chair when you get out.
Barry, I got a question. So, have you ever done America's Got Talent?
I auditioned twice, and I don't think there's going to be a third time. But I've done it. I've done it twice.
You
Yeah.
were speaking of like criteria, the people. I could imagine the guys at the Apollo. They look at you and they're like, "Yeah, this corny old white motherfucker, fuck out of here." But
Yeah,
America's
yeah.
Got Talent, they're like, "Oh,
You notice
wow.
how he's using somebody else to bash me? You notice that bullshit?
No,
But
no,
that's fixed.
that's
He's using
me.
Simon
no, that's me
Cowell.
thinking their perspective.
That's Fig's MO, using somebody else. Did you notice that at all, Cindy, or you're
That's-
sleeping now?
Only specifically.
That's the perspective,
Me.
Barry.
Cindy says
Are
no.
you paying
She
attention
said
to
me
him?
specifically?
Hey
No.
man, I'm being real. You talk about
Generally?
gatekeepers
Yeah.
and stuff, and I'm pretending
tell
if
you
I'm
something.
one of those. Go ahead.
I'll tell you something. There's a club in Manhattan.
Chippendales.
There's a club in Manhattan. I'm not going to mention the club. I like the owner. But year one, 1994,
Year I was born.
I think you told me that once before, maybe.
Thank you.
1990.
I was worried about that.
I did a bringer show, and they said the owner is going to watch, and he actually did. I wish he didn't, because afterwards he comes over to me, and I quote, he goes, "I like what you did, but you're too old for my
I
club."
already know who it is.
Yeah, well, let's not throw him under the bus. I have since done the club 8 fucking times.
Oh, yeah.
So it took me years to realize that I was being graded without a curve. Like maybe somebody younger, they go, hey, they're young, they got potential, whatever. Me, I was graded, hey, older dude, he better bring some fire.
Yeah.
It took me many years to realize that. Obviously, it was a little surprising to hear him set me up and go, I like what you did, and then hit me with the fucking punchline, but you're too old for the club. I didn't see that
Yeah, that's
coming
fucked
at
up.
Wait,
all.
when did you start comedy? Can I
This
not ask
retard just asked me that when I
Yeah,
just
he's
said
asking
it,
you like, well, he wants to compare and contrast.
but I just told him the
Did
year.
you really? No,
No, that
oh,
was
that's
when
when
you
you
started?
started?
1994.
That's when you started. I didn't think you said that. Did
Year
you say
you were
that?
born.
I know, but did he say when I started?
And then you said that's when you were born,
No, I
right?
didn't hear you say
Yeah,
when. I didn't hear you say when I started.
You
Yeah.
just said you auditioned, and I was like,
No,
oh,
I said I
cool.
started in 94.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that. But I didn't hear that.
I thought the
Cap.
club opened in '94.
Barry's gonna punch you by the end of this.
No.
podcast.
He loves me.
TJ's my dude, and he's such
No
a
homo.
pussy troublemaker, man.
Both these guys are.
I'm a
should
big
fight
I'm a
them.
big pussy.
I get yeah.
Who is? Who else? Who's he?
Dave.
That's who
I guess
usually
we're
starts
bullies
the
then.
fights, Mike.
Who?
The pussies.
Pussies, yeah.
And they got their friend that they want to
So does
get
anybody
into a
have-
fight.
No, I was a pussy. The moment I sat down, I was upset about the angle of the camera. This
Me
guy's a
too,
fat
dude.
pussy.
That's why I'm happy he fucking is blocking me because I looked horrible. I was like, thank God.
There we go.
Let me get out of you. Let me get out of you.
Yeah,
so
look at
does
those.
anybody
Look at the
have
tits.
like an intelligent question for the veteran?
Wait.
Whose
No.
side are you on, Israel or Palestine?
Yo, Palestine needs to fix
Patrick is
themselves.
still focused on my
I would
dick.
say I'm back to the original question. What year did you lose your virginity?
I like that.
Patrick asked the same question. What year did you lose your virginity? I don't know. I think we're done with that.
All right, fine. What was the first year you ate box?
That's
Yeah,
true.
well,
We did not hear the answer.
sometimes you don't.
Here, like, cut off shorts.
To
and
be-
like ankle.
Sometimes you
Jorts.
just don't get what you wish for.
To be honest, Barry does push this kind of sexual agenda. So it does kind of make sense for a guest to say, hey,
But you wanna-
when did you finally fucking let one out?
All I know is the first fuck, she looked like she was a Playboy model. So I was lucky, and it worked out. TJ,
How long? 15 seconds?
Drive in.
15 seconds.
TJ, yo,
First time always sucks, man.
TJ,
First time
you're
always
on,
sucks.
You're on. See how he's interrupting all fucking.
Well,
night?
yeah. I
I'm
mean,
like-
listen.
It I wish
15
I had watched a lot more porn to see technique.
They didn't have porn. They didn't have watching porn back then, did they?
It was kind of on the fast side, Mike. And it was amazing that I actually was able to perform because she was incredibly hot. If I recall, the face wasn't the greatest, but the body, the body was incredible.
She's actually a
man.
listener.
It was-
That's crazy.
Yeah, I did. Thank you, Mike. Yeah,
She had
Three pump Barry.
yeah.
3-pump Barry. That's so many.
I couldn't believe that she was like ready, willing, and able without me threatening or
Barry,
no weapons involved.
I couldn't
Nothing.
believe she had all of her
You're giving-
limbs. That's crazy.
you're giving us an image of this woman. I need to know, what did you look like?
Yeah, were you handsome?
Yeah, I had a good period.
You had a good period.
Oh, I had a good
Go,
period.
divulge details.
I let me tell you something. When I was in elementary school,
Wait,
So in
what?
1842.
Wait, hold
I
on.
looked.
Barry
I looked
lost his
very
virginity when he was
girlish.
9?
I looked very faggoty when I was in elementary.
Bad
school.
word.
Same here.
I had a Beatles kind of haircut,
Oh boy.
but I was kind of a cute kid. As a matter of fact, I self-campaigned to be the cutest kid in school, and I won because nobody else really went against me.
Did you get diddled
I was-
back then?
I'm
That was
not,
a-
I'm not finished, DJ.
Oh, sorry.
So I was voted. Yo, Mike.
I want a toothpick. I want a cool
but
toothpick.
I was voted the cutest boy in elementary school.
By all the
I
adults.
was cute, and then I went through a period there where I got fat, buck teeth, and I was ugly as fuck. Then went around when I got married. When I got married, if you look at my wedding pictures, I had a lot of hair, and it was dark,
It doesn't.
and I was pretty attractive. But yo, time has not been my best friend now.
No, we know.
Yo,
No,
but-
I think you look great.
yo,
Don't listen to Dave. He's been doing
No,
comedy
Barry,
for
we have
one
a similar
day.
story because I had buck teeth and I was super like chubby and just hideous.
He's talking
for a
about
while.
right
I'm
now.
very
He's talking
good
about
looking
right
now.
He's
But-
so fat.
yo, you hear this, Mike? He's very good looking
I
now.
know, well, you know, I got to be my own advocate here.
You are
no one
so
else
fucking
is. No one
deluded,
else is.
dude.
I know. Okay, listen, Barry. You're not the first
Well, he's
person
a
to tell me
Jew.
that. You can't get under my skin, Barry. It's gonna take a little more than that. I couldn't even close my mouth though. My buck teeth were so bad. It was like I was like a rabbit.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Anybody have an interesting question besides Patrick wanting to know how old I was?
well, what kind of question? Do you want a comedy question? You want just
Excuse
something
me,
unrelated?
Dave. You seem with your glasses intelligent, so ask a fucking dumb question.
What's your take on Israel Palestine?
There. Yeah.
Are
that's
you a
good
Jew?
one.
Are you Jewish?
We don't have to talk about religion and
What's your,
stuff.
what's your ethnicity then? Where are your parents from?
Bronx.
Both my parents were born in America.
Same, by the way, for the record,
Excuse
same.
me. We're going back to Dave and his question.
Yeah, I have. Oh, I still have to ask a question.
You don't have to. You have a question for me?
I don't. Let
Do
me
you
think
think
about it.
9/11 was a hoax?
Yo, I'm gonna be straight with you guys. The Pentagon was a whole nother scenario.
So the 9/11 thing you think is like a conspiracy? Because some people say that America had something to do with the buildings going down and stuff, and
I think there's some weird stuff for sure.
they say it's
Controlled
like an
demolition,
inside
Barry.
job and
Controlled
shit like
demolition, for sure.
I think it's.
I'm a
I,
big
don't-
conspiracy.
I wouldn't say
that.
for sure.
You can't talk while two people are talking at
I
the
know.
same time, yo.
I know. I gotta
You guys are bothersome all fucking night, and he's the fucking ringleader.
Figs, I need your help. You gotta do something.
Chips
Barry,
Cooney was
last
just
time
like
we
that.
spoke, we had a long conversation
You and I
on the phone.
Go ahead.
And you asked me who were my influencers. Who do I want to be like? So I'm asking you.
I always ask newer comedians, whose career would you like to model yours after?
So I'm going to ask you the same question.
Yes.
Who? I mean, you could answer it as if you were my age or now, whatever you want. But who were some people that influenced you in comedy?
Okay, here's the thing. And I'd rather really kind of lean towards telling TJ because he seems the more intelligent of every one of these motherfuckers.
He knew how wrong he
He's
was.
asking Israel
TJ
Palestine, but he's going to go your side.
TJ, do not fail me now, man. I put you on a fucking pedestal.
I've never failed you once, but I did get I got a hinge connect. So
Oh, yes, yes.
that's what's up.
Yes. Fuck Mary. Show the pic. Show the pic.
Her name is Olivia.
Here's
No.
the
Go ahead.
thing. Generally, every comedian will say they got into comedy for various reasons and they were a big fan of so-and-so, right?
Yeah.
Not the case with me at all. My story, which will be in a future book. What's so funny about that, Dave?
I'll write the book. I'm a good writer.
No, I asked Eddie Brill yesterday if, you know that name at all?
I know Eddie, bro.
I asked him if he would write my book with me.
Did he say yes?
He's trying to actually
That's
get a...
enough.
So there's a chance, Dave.
You see how these two girls...
Barry, let's go
So
on the
there's a
road
chance
together.
he could write with
Fuck
it.
these people. Let's go on the road together.
So here's the thing.
Are you guys having fun, by the way? All right, good.
She's over it. I think-
They're like making out. I mean, they're going to just bang and have a good time.
Can you do it in front of us, please?
You're like, I'm tired of this.
Here's what I got to say. There is not one comedian on this planet that made me feel I want to do stand-up because of so-and-so. My story is different. Future book, Dave. Eddie Brill may work with me. He's trying to find a publisher as we speak.
I hope
'cause
so. I think it's a good story. I hope so.
Who?
I hope he
Do you
works
know
with
the
I hope-
story?
I hope it does happen.
You've seen some of his writing on
I know
social
Barry for a
media?
little while. I know some things, but I want to hear. I
But
wanna
do you
hear it
know the
fleshed out.
Barry
He didn't
Rib
hear-
story?
He didn't hear my question. I just asked.
No, he
No, I'm
didn't.
sorry, because I was
he said-
because this fucking guy was interrupting me.
Yo, Mike, you're
I'll just
familiar
be
with
very
Eddie
rich.
Brill?
We
Here's
don't
the
read books, Barry.
Here's the thing.
How would we know who this guy is?
He was like a warm-up guy for
Letterman.
Letterman. Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I
and
don't
a
read
talent
Letterman.
booker.
Yeah.
So, how did I end up being a stand-up in '94?
Yeah, I was born.
It's a great year.
It was a second choice. I'll tell you very briefly because Dave alluded to the fact that I could be long-winded, and he's
true.
going to pay for that after the lights go down. So say goodbye.
Yeah.
Give your goodbyes to Dave.
Kung Fu Barry, baby. We've been getting ready for the dojo.
Namo, whatever the fuck his name is. Name sort of like Olga Namir.
I got your back, Barry.
Olga he's got bigger titties
You're
than
playing both
Olga,
sides, Biggs.
which is fucked up. I love titties, by the way, but not on a dude. You feel me?
No wonder you're so mean to me, Barry.
Yo, TJ, I'm starting to see my bald spot in this fucking angle, yo.
It's all right. I look like a fat tuna. It's okay.
I know he did. Get to the point, Barry.
Are we gonna do mushrooms or what?
They're called shrooms. It looks like, yo, shrooms don't have calories. You're doing a different kind of vegetable, yo.
I'm doing eggplant in breadcrumbs. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing fried eggplant, you fuck.
So,
God damn, Barry, you're the greatest.
you want to know something, TJ?
Hit me, Barry.
You're
Wait, what was the first choice? You said comedian was second choice. What was first? Doctor?
gonna love this story a little bit, and
I'm gonna love it a little bit.
Yo, you're not gonna like the whole story.
I lately have been telling the younger audiences that everybody in this room, except for Mike, has a God-given talent. And if you...
Except for you.
No, I think he was talking about.
Except for you, the co-headliner of tonight.
And if you... I think Mike will back me on this. If you could combine that God-given talent and make a living, whoa, that's like winning the lotto.
You win the lottery.
So I've been telling the young crowds this because when you're older, a lot of the young crowd may be looking up to me for maybe some wisdom. Perhaps they come from broken homes and shit. Maybe, right? Now, I recently told this story, and I haven't told the story in years. My first bulb going off in my head is when I moved to L.A., and I'm living practically at the Comedy Store. And I saw these dudes that are now rich and famous today, and they intimidated the fuck out of me. And I said, I'm not even auditioning for the Comedy Store. I said, fuck that. So my choice was going to be, I wanted to be the talent coordinator for a late night show. Because I recognized then that's not my place to stage. Secondly, my place is I have an eye for talent. Yeah. Dave, you'll never make it.
Yeah. You're so wrong, Barry. You're so wrong, Barry.
I think he's right.
Barry, what gave you the courage to take that leap?
So what happened was, fast forward, and I did work in a couple of agencies in L.A., 2 agencies. One agency, I gave up an incredible fucking job to be the assistant of a legendary agent, but that's for another podcast. So I worked in 2 agencies. I quit them both. I come back to New York. I got the bug to go out and look for that job. Had 2 interviews. And I sensed, sometimes you go by instinct, I sensed nobody's going to give me a shot. I'm too old. And 27 years ago, I wasn't that fucking old. So I said, you know what? Fuck these people. My gut told me, go on stage and take the power back. And the reality is, after all said and done, and a lot of wasted time, I was born to be a stand-up. I was doing stand-up. People used to call it class clown. In 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade, getting into trouble on behavior, I was doing stand-up for my classmates. I used to call it class clown. Fuck no. And also, and this is very cliche-ish, when I heard the laughs or the disturbing sounds from my classmates, on some level, I said, that sounds good.
It made you feel good, right?
It's a cliche shit.
I never thought of it that way, Barry. You're opening my, you're blowing my mind right now.
Well, you're retarded. See, this is
Okay, last
He
time I
showed you a dinosaur,
Last
and you'd be
time
like, whoa.
Barry's telling my life story right now. We're the same person. That's
So
why you
he's
don't like
telling-
me.
he's telling
That's why you don't
stories.
like me. Now I know.
That's deep. That's deep.
That's
I like
deep,
that.
yeah.
I
I like
never
that.
realized
That's
that being a class clown was
He's telling the
stand-up.
story of a comic. Is
I
what he's telling.
never put those 2 together.
No, but
Just you hearing you say it right now
first time it
for
ever
the
played.
first time,
But
it's
see-
like clicking, like, oh shit.
But
That's
you got to
what I was
understand
fucking
something. You
doing.
got to understand something. And TJ will get this. And Dave is starting to come around
Obviously.
too now.
Going around,
I'm
Dave's
going around. This is
You're
good.
almost. You're going
I'm-
to get
I'm
there
sorry.
one day, dude.
Yeah,
What I don't like about the comics who started with me to 2021, there's very little originality and creativity. Okay? And I was using, forgive me, I was using a class clown shit because most of us, if you don't stay really within yourself, and I have a Jim Norton reference, which I'll get to in a second, if you're just hanging out with everybody else, you end up just saying the same shit the whole fucking group does. So that's why Gaffigan is incredibly successful in Northern, because when they started out, they were not just being in a group. They were really isolationists, okay? And I'm a loner, hence I'm a little bit of an isolationist. Some people being a loner, they think he's an asshole, which I am also. I am a loner asshole. That is true.
I think Dave and TJ have realized that.
Yeah.
No, I'm a big
figured.
fan. I don't think you're an asshole.
So,
I've
yeah,
realized
I
that,
got the
sorry.
asshole thing from my father, because my father was an asshole. So I
He
think
got
it's...
it from his father and his father.
Well, I didn't know his
You
father.
each got assholes from the.
But it is a genetic thing or whatever, being an asshole. So I have a little asshole.
Wait, I gotta interject.
Yes, please.
Did I not say something very similar to what Barry is saying like 2 nights ago? Did I not?
I don't know.
I said that all these comedians, they like grind. They want to grind really hard, so they go to mics all the time. But they don't actually live their lives. That's why they all end up telling the same jokes. That's why
Oh,
they
yeah,
all have
but
dick
everybody-
pic jokes
Yeah.
and Tinder jokes, and it's just the same subject matter. I don't know.
Yeah,
Can I?
well,
Am I getting away with it? Am I
No,
being
feel like
profound?
he's-
Am I being
he's
profound?
saying
Am I being
something-
profound?
He's
Yeah,
saying
no.
something different.
A
I
little
feel
different.
like.
I think,
Okay,
I think
maybe-
what Barry's saying is, I think Barry's just saying.
I just want Barry to like me.
Go ahead.
I think Barry's just breaking down what it's like to be a comic.
Yes.
And what and
Yes.
where you all come from.
He's breaking down when he found that bug, when he
And where you all
where it
come
all.
from, and when all of a sudden realized,
Yeah.
shit, I'm.
All right, I gave it a shot.
I like the
gave it a
laugh.
shot.
I like
Boo,
hearing
Dave.
that.
But you want to know
Okay.
something, Mike?
Yeah, I'm listening to every word you're saying.
Here's what
I'll piggyback to what you're saying.
I was just telling somebody
Okay.
this yesterday, matter of fact. The bottom line is, TJ and everybody else, I'm at the Comedy Store 1975 to 1981.
I don't know what I did.
which was the Mecca.
Golden. That's golden age.
And Figs, I think you will get this in a way. The bottom line is, I did not want to audition for Mitzi Shore, but I had to make an alibi. So my alibi was this. I saw Robin Williams and everybody else in 75, Howie Mann, you name it. I seen everybody. So I had to make an excuse. The bottom line is, I didn't want to do stand-up at that time, so I needed excuses. So my excuse was, I can't share the mic with these dudes. They are in another fucking league. But the reality is, you have to start. They started. They were shit. I'm sure Robin Williams the first year was not Robin Williams. I'm sure Howie Mandel, etc. But I didn't have that foresight. And the bottom line is, I didn't feel like that was my comfort zone. It was more behind the scenes. But if you really want to know, and I'm very self-aware now, thankfully, because I think with years on the planet, so-called maturity, experience, life experience, you get somewhat self-aware. If not, your life is kind of fucked up, perhaps, you know.
So you were behind the scenes until 94.
I saw myself as that person that was not worthy of being on the path to stardom,
Yeah.
if you want to say it that way. But if you think about this, Mike, somewhere in my soul, in first, second, third grade, that's what I wanted to do. And my uncle was a comedian. And I tell people this, and I'm sure you'll all agree with me. If my uncle had encouraged me to follow in his footsteps, I would have been one of the youngest comedians ever. And there are comedians, believe it or not. I know a dude from the urban side. He started 2 of his kids when they were 4 to 6 years old. One was just on America's Got Talent last week. There's no doubt in my mind, if my uncle mentored me, if you will, I would have started incredibly young. But I started comparatively incredibly old.
Yeah.
And in my future book, it's going to say, the title will be Better Late Than Never. So everybody throws around
good
it.
stuff.
Don't interrupt me, Dave, because I'll hate you even more.
Where's that joint? I saw a joint. Oh, wait, no, it's
it's
over there.
working.
So here's the thing.
Look at that. If I keep hearing Barry talk, I gotta get high.
Everybody, Mike, throws around the word blessed.
Oh, right. Is it?
Blessed. I'm going to leave now.
I'm
Dave,
listening.
I'm starting to like you now because they're both rude and shit, talking
I'm
about
with
getting
you,
high or
Barry.
whatever.
I'm with you.
Thank you, Dave.
Barry had a glass of milk for the people listening.
So here's the thing.
The people listening.
People use that word blessed. Barry Ribs is truly blessed. It should be my middle name, which they couldn't afford to give me a middle name. I have no middle name. Barry Bless Ribs, because I'm doing something that I, by choice, put aside wrongly in a way. I could have started in 75. Would Mitzi like what I did? I would kind of bet she would like Barry fucking Ribs, okay? Younger, gorgeous, sort of like you, Figs. I don't mean to...
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it.
Yo,
I'm a little fat right now, but I know I'm handsome.
It's the only compliment you'll ever fucking get from me.
I mean, I want to know as much as I can about you, Barry. Like, we're here, we're doing,
we're
doing this podcast. The listeners, they know these guys.
I've said enough. I said enough, right, TJ? Enough.
I don't think you've said enough.
I got it.
People got questions, Barry.
My next thing will be like, okay, boom, 94, you start it, bang, you start making moves, you do Apollo, you're doing this, you're doing that.
Yep.
Every time when I started getting the real good gigs with Pat Dixon and shit, I slowly met you.
Back to him. Did you notice that, Dave?
I slowly met you,
and
I've seen you kill. We've never really, I mean, we've shared a stage maybe, but it's not really, in a weird way. It's so strange that we've never I feel like you've never seen me. I've never seen you. I mean, I've seen you.
Put me in the same sentence with you.
My question is,
you are a very low level.
My question.
Now I got to get in the middle.
Low level co-headlining tonight at the dojo. Low level. Barry has stooped down to my level. My question is,
yes.
You're telling me gigs with D.L. Hughley. What was that like?
10 times.
What was that like?
That's a good question. You got to give him some credit. TJ.
He's a great guy. I don't know why you don't like him so much.
He does. This is what he does.
Thanks. Shout out to Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Hey, you know what? That was also, I enjoyed that a lot. It was very interesting, Barry.
D.L. Hughley.
Yo,
big
TJ,
motherfucker.
don't start any trouble, TJ. I got a love-hate thing.
No.
I got a love-hate thing for him.
Who's Dysfunctional Family? What special was that? Eddie Griffin. I'm thinking Eddie Griffin.
Oh, yeah.
I'm confusing them.
D.L.
Hughley was
How
not
do you
as big
pronounce
as
the
Eddie
last
Griffin.
name?
Hughley.
No.
It's not?
Hughley.
Hughley. Okay.
I didn't
DL
know
was
that.
not as big as Eddie Griffin.
No, keep it.
Excuse me?
Is DL as big as Eddie Griffin?
At the present time?
No, in terms of a stand-up comic. I know Hughley had a show.
Yo, both
sitcom,
of them
right?
are totally different acts, I think.
Yeah.
I heard it.
Racist now.
I heard.
So Mike Epps and DL Hughley and
The
Richard.
two black guys that brought you on the road. What's going on, Mike?
I've had no association with Eddie. I heard a fucked up story about him, which I'm not getting into.
Okay.
But as far as D.L. Hughley,
That's your boy.
TJ, it's Hughley.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Dave, you got to follow up with this D.L.
I did
Hughley
the same thing
before,
you did.
because it
It's
looks like
Hughley.
you're ready to interrupt.
No, I just always look like I'm right.
It's just a
in the wrong.
Jewish look.
Yeah, it's very Jewish.
Yo,
Yeah,
Be annoying.
I'm thinking of
Fix.
everything you say
Fix.
right now. Okay.
I don't want to hog up this shit. I'll give you the Hughley story, and then we'll move on, right?
Yes.
I have
Thank you.
one more. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, then you could have the following list. D.L. Hughley, first time I met him was at the Gotham Comedy Club, and he walks in, he says, "Hi, Barry Ribs."
Wow.
Wow is right.
That's why I'm on his side.
Now,
I know what's up.
me being a little different than Figs, I have an honest answer why I think he knew my name. Figs would roll with it. Figs is different than me. He would go, "Ladies and gentlemen," I can't do your voice. I'm not into voices. D.L. Hughley knew my name.
I would never do that.
D.L. Hughley knew my name, but he wouldn't give the reason why he might know it. D.L. knew my name. I'm going to kind of speak to Dave on this. I hit up D.L. on a Facebook Messenger when he was at Caroline's if I could do a guest spot. He comes back and he goes, "Looking forward to it."
Wow.
Some people got into my ear, which is fucked up. And that's why I tell people I try to pass on shit that I fucked up. I try to give people pearls of wisdom. You take it or leave it. That's up to you. So people got into my ear. They said, "Nah, that's his entourage. He didn't say that." So I left it alone and I didn't stop by Caroline's.
Wow.
2-3 years later, He walks into Gotham. Hi, Barry Ribs. I'm assuming that when we did Messenger, he said, let me look at who this Barry Ribs is. He locked in the face. I walk in. That's how he knew who the fuck I was. He gives me his cell phone number. Stay in touch. Coincidentally, he's back at Caroline's. Can I do a spot? Sure. I do my spot. His manager, security, was in the audience and reported back how it went. But if you've been at Caroline's green room and it's packed and the crowd is rocking, you could hear, DL could hear that Barry did his thing. But I think he also sent the security out there to report back. I kid you not. I'm good on that. I'm staying away from alcohol.
Me too, Barry.
Gay?
He's got
I
five,
know.
six.
Does it
He's
no
got
longer
five,
pull the
six shows
peer
there,
pressure?
as we know, at Caroline's weekend. After I did that first spot, he said, "You want to come back tomorrow?" I come back tomorrow. You want to come back tomorrow? I did all the
Can I pause you? Can I stop you for a second?
I'm finished.
How
I'm
did
finished.
you? No. How did you do? So wait. So he tells he
I
has
feel
a
like
spot at
fairly good, at
Caroline's. You go, hey, can I get a guest spot? Your friends tell you that's not really him. You don't go to the spot.
Why is he repeating what
No,
I
because
just
I lost you. Because I lost you. I lost you for a
said?
minute.
Does Dave?
This
Yo,
is,
I lost you.
By the
this
way,
is the
fuck your
Barry
friend
Ribs
for
story
saying that.
When did he
playback.
see you the second time? I
Yeah,
missed
what
that
was the
little part.
time gap
I
in
missed that little
between?
part.
He
No,
said
no,
2
no,
to
no.
3 years, didn't he?
No.
Yeah, it was a while.
I did a spot, first show of his engagement, and he asked me to come back.
No.
practically.
Original message when he said Caroline's that you didn't go.
Yeah.
He said, look forward to it. You
Yeah.
didn't
How
go.
long-
When's the
that
next
was
time?
about 1 to 3 years prior.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you could have been working for him probably.
But you want to hear something, Clint?
How did you see him though the next
What?
time? That's my question.
What do you mean?
So
How'd you run into him?
Yeah, how did you
At
run into him
Gotham.
at Gotham? He recognized you.
Did I
And you
say that twice, Dave?
And he
no, but I
gave you
didn't-
his phone number.
And you did a spot that night at Gotham.
He's getting
Me?
it for the
Yeah.
hearing
No,
impaired.
he did.
He did. So he still hasn't seen you.
That is correct.
When did he see you do stand up again? When did he see you do stand up for the first time?
You know something? Of the 10 gigs, he has basically never seen me. He's always been in the green room.
Hearing the response from the crowd.
Yeah, I believe he's literally.
So Barry's not being so humble right now. He's basically telling us he's got a big ass dick and that he killed in front of Dale Hughley. That's what you're telling us.
This is why, Mike. This is why I hate this motherfucker.
So you fucking. So you.
Why
fucking,
don't you just claim it?
So you destroyed.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
You see how he's.
It's off. It's off the
He's a hater. Yo, Mike, he's a hater. He's a hater. That's why Chrissy Mayer said to him, "Suck my dick."
Chrissy Mayer and I are good friends now, by the way.
But
Shout out to Chrissy Mayer tomorrow.
Did you
Dojo
suck
of
Chrissy's dick,
go ahead.
Mike?
Go ahead.
Tomorrow night at
So-
the dojo.
He hears your response from the green room after Gotham, yada, blah, 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 blah. He says, do you want to come tomorrow night? You say, do you want to do it tomorrow night? And you say, yeah,
Where's
sure.
he going with this?
I want to hear the rest. So he goes, you want to come
What?
tomorrow night?
Dave, I
He
just
goes,
did that.
yeah.
Dave,
And you just
I
did-
want to
You're on
do
his
tomorrow
side now.
night.
You're
That's
doing
strange.
great.
I'm doing really
You're
good.
you're killing it. You're
I'm
on
pretty
his side.
happy about this.
What was that? That was good stuff.
that was some hater questioning and shit.
Hater, motherfucker. I'm trying to let the audience know your story, you piece of
What
shit.
is? Did you guys get a shot? Do you want a
They-
shot?
Do you
Yeah.
want it? There's 2
You
shots.
got
in
2
there.
shots. Perfect. No.
Well, there's 2
Barry,
left.
give me
We
your
don't
hand.
want them.
Yeah.
I want to feel you.
You want it?
So good shit, Barry.
That was good, Clint.
What was that,
That was a
like,
good job.
feeling in front of those crowds?
That was
So
about
fuck
to
what
go
he
down.
heard.
And you want to hear something else, Figs?
Yes.
Mike, you want it?
Dave is listening to the
I'm
master
listening
here.
intently.
I'm here. Don't count me out.
You know something?
Shout out to God.
No matter what business, it doesn't hurt to catch a break. And he uses 2 features all over the country. And I think one got fired. A major dickhead who'll be nameless, like the worst of the fucking worst.
Bill Cosby.
He fires the dude.
Why don't you want me to work with you, DL? What happened? I'm doing the gooping and the
No,
gobble.
you're doing Kamal Nanjiani.
What I'm in the
Dave, you
Eternals.
notice the ADD has kicked in all fucking night long?
I don't think the shots helped.
Oh, look at that. Who's that stud? Who's that stud?
Definitely more side hair than
Yo,
now.
Mike, that's as good as I'm gonna fucking look. I think. That's good. So, Dave,
That's all
2
anybody's seeing
features.
right now.
I didn't pray on it, but if you shoot yourself in the foot, there's a good chance you're gonna get fired. So I think he fired one, and I said, and I got from a reliable source. It was me and another dude that's in the bullpen, and they took the other dude.
Mistake.
They took the other dude. And that dude, DL and his manager said, whenever we come around the tri-state, the gigs are yours. So I'll be with him. Levity Live November.
Nice.
Caroline's probably December. Caroline's I like a lot better. Although Levity Live, you've ever seen Levity?
Yeah.
I performed there before.
You've seen Levity
I
Live?
feel like
Levity at the
I feel like you
Caroline's
guys are
1,000.
evil
Caroline's
geniuses to
starting
sell
point.
these
I like
fucking
Car-
shows because
I
that
like
was like a
Caroline's a
10-minute
little
story, so
better.
that you could tell
A
a
little
little.
better.
Speaking of
Big
Levity
shows
and
there.
Caroline's, Dojo downstairs
Anyway,
looks
here-
pretty sick, dude. That room down there,
He
where we
was
were
in on
crushing.
it. He's like the.
I mean,
bad
there were a lot of
guy.
Italian portraits. Maybe we get rid of them and put on some more like Asian dojo stuff. But
So,
besides that,
I say we put up more
Solid-
white people.
More
that,
white
that would be
people.
good if we just put
solid
white.
room.
They took
man.
somebody else.
I had a Chipotle chicken bowl.
One
It
of the
was
dudes-
slamming.
One of the dudes is probably never getting fired. The other dude I heard is a good dude now. But at least they're going to give me the Northeast. Yo.
That's
Matter
good
of fact,
shit. That's good shit.
5 weeks ago, it was just me and DL on the show. They left the features at home. It was a 2-man with DL. You talk about highlights before? That is a fucking highlight, man. I did my 25, and then I brought DL up.
Oh yeah.
That is kind of huge in my brain.
Yeah, there you go. Wow.
That was fucking cool.
So let's get
That
to the
was
real
cool.
question, Barry. Levity Live. You think you can get 3.5 whites up there at Levity Live?
Whoa, I'm
We
half
are
Puerto
in the-
Rican.
We are in the
Or
neighborhood.
half, that's crazy.
No, I'm
me
zero.
too.
I'm not. I'm so white. I can't be more white.
He's like Irish,
I'm
dude.
Irish and German.
Beautiful Puerto Rican. Levity Live.
Levity
Palisades Mall. Levity Live.
Levity Live just hit me up.
Yo, what about a Riggs? I mean a rib.
Oh, you're the dude
Riggs
on
Riggs.
you're the dude on Twitter that. Yo, there's a dude on Twitter.
Riggs
that
Fibs.
What's up, Bobby Riggs?
Yeah.
He just gave away. He fucking.
No,
He made
no.
a fucked up account on
It's
Twitter. That
fucking
was him.
TJ.
Come
Idaho
on.
cop TJ.
Come
You're the
on,
Bobby
guys.
Riggs. We
Come
just found
on.
out the Bobby Riggs.
All right, so what about a Ribs, Figs, Francis, Namery, Esposito show? How about that, huh?
Great.
That would sell
Well, that
out.
was a show tonight,
That would
guys.
sell out.
As we did.
Yeah, we got to do it again.
Listen, we got
That's what we're
white, we
saying.
got white,
You motherfuckers
white. Are you Puerto Rican?
I'm
and then
Italian,
Jewish.
bro.
Yeah, but
So
that's
this
white,
bitch
you
out
fucking
here.
wop.
Can we include these two here? Because they, you know.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we have
We
special
include-
guests.
As long as Patrick don't answer.
They just
dumb
sit
ass
on the
shit.
side of the
Patrick's the
stage.
man.
Let's ask Cindy. Cindy can ask a question if you want.
She doesn't look like she wants to.
How
no.
big is it?
What is a great question to ask?
I'm just trying to
That's a
show
question right
love.
there. That's a good question, so you got to answer that.
All right, enough of Barry. Ask somebody else a question. This
Yeah,
guy-
please.
Yeah.
What about fucking Clint? He's fucking
Clint's been
jacked.
pretty quiet.
All right,
Always. Last time I was here, he was hosting a show. He's a great fucking host.
Yo, we got to
Clint's
train.
the man.
How we doing?
We got
Oh,
10,
we got
10:46. I think we got to get on it.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Clint's the fucking man. I love the fucking table. I love the setup. How's it been here at the dojo? What comedy's coming back. What have you noticed? Like in terms of like like people coming out and stuff. People's reactions.
Those are a bunch of different questions.
What's your name? How old are you? What do you weigh? Tell me about reactions. How have the shows been? Like you're fucking. You guys are the home team here. You guys
They're
are
good.
kicking some ass.
They're always good. The crowds are always good. Whoever comes is always fun.
Mike's got Rich Voss coming. Who else you got coming, Mike?
yeah.
We got to tell the people.
Just
that.
Andy Fiore, Andre Kim, Chrissy Mayer.
This guy. I updated the site and TJ has the schedule memorized.
Chrissy-
I just know who's the next. So Chrissy Mayer's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Andre Kim, I'll be
following
back.
week
I'll
is
be
Andre
back. Mike
Kim
Figs will be
and-
back with Andre Kim.
Okay, Mike
And all
Figs
these
coming
guys.
back with Andre Kim, and Andy Fiore is, I believe, recording
Same
an
night.
album / special.
He's getting ready for a special he'll be doing here in the fall.
And Rich Voss has a
we got
special
Rich,
thing.
we got Rich Voss's birthday party coming here, which is gonna be
That's
crazy.
gonna be amazing.
And
Mike,
not
tell
even-
the
I'm not even
story about
allowed
how
to-
He's turning 107 years old. That's how crazy.
last time we spoke.
He looks great.
You have a friend on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Who you Who is it? Tripoli?
Sam Tripoli.
Sam Tripoli, yeah.
Yeah, Sam Tripoli's my partner.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. Tripoli's a fucking man. He's a big dude out there in L.A.
Yeah, Tripoli is he's the fucking
Tinfoil
man.
Hat podcast.
Tinfoil Hat podcast. He's my partner. He's another booker here.
Do you know that he retweeted one of my things and it got like 3,000 fucking views, man? That dude is.
Yeah, he's got power on the internet. I mean, whenever he can keep his accounts, he gets pulled down all the time. But
I couldn't
he's got
believe
power
it. Yo,
on the
dude,
internet.
I remember one time he retweeted, it went up to 3,000.
Yeah, he's like next level, but sane. And I hate to make the reference, but like cult guy like Alex Jones, but like
he's been on Rogan a
Yeah.
bunch
he
of
makes
times,
sense.
Yeah, he's from that Roganverse.
Right,
Yeah.
but my point is that he's like bringing a lot of ideas to the mainstream that they're not necessarily having. I would say.
And he's an OG Comedy Store guy, right? He was passed by Mitzi years ago. And so he's an OG. He's the guy who started Comedy Chaos, which in my opinion is the best show in the world. Tuesday nights at the Comedy Store, Comedy Chaos. That's the best show in the world. That's why
You've seen it?
Oh, I used to go many times. That's where I would sit in the back and just get and learn. And that is where, that's my inspiration. Comedy Chaos on a Tuesday
you've
night.
done stand-up?
No, I'm not a stand-up. I'm a behind-the-scenes guy, Barry.
Gotcha.
But when
It's
it comes
Mr. Ribs to you. Go ahead,
When,
Mike.
all right, Mr. Ribs.
He's an events guy,
So
Mike.
Mr. Ribs.
Who's taking that shot?
Listen,
Mr. Ribs.
let me give you guys a
Mr.
background on Mike, which he doesn't like to do. Mike Mike and I are the same age. He and I actually talked to one of my friends that was a big partier back in the day, and she was like, I told her I mentioned Men in Arena, and she goes, "Oh fuck yeah, I went to that."
Yeah.
So he used to throw raves, parties, whatever you want to call it, when we were like fucking 20.
Yeah, I was throwing big ass parties, like 10 to 15,000 people at a
So
show.
I hope that
then
comes
the
back,
family owned the chain of Tiffs, or your dad and uncle.
Yeah.
So, like, basically got back into the restaurant, had a couple of his own restaurants, built them up, and then just got a love for comedy. And now, like, he doesn't need to be fucking doing comedy, but he loves comedy.
Yeah,
so.
here we are with the dojo, and I just want to support, there's a lot of, New Jersey has such good raw talent. There's so many just amazing people that got to get out there and known. So we started this little thing here. And you're asking about what's going to happen with comedy. So last year, that's when I met you guys. We were doing shit on underground, like pretty much underground.
Yeah, your following has like tripled since then, which is great.
Like we were doing shows when you were not even allowed to, and that's all. This guy's, he was the one who's like, let's just fucking do it. We started doing it on the patio, and we've been doing comedy shows here for a while, but during the pandemic is where it took off. You guys are asking where's it going now that we're open. It's going to take a little bit of time because now everybody's open. But we've been doing when it was illegal, when it was dangerous, and this has nothing to do with who fucking you voted for, by the way. I know a lot of Trump supporters think like this has nothing to do with that.
No, it's just a matter
It has
of
to do with if you're funny.
Not.
If you're funny, you weren't scared of the virus, you want to come out, and you.
Yeah.
So I created a space for comics because that's their therapy. A lot of comics share the same thing as same mental illness that I got, and they need to get their shit out. And there's some people that really enjoy absorbing comedy, and they needed a place, and that was taken from the world. So we did that, and we did it in an underground level. Clint, who's the guy who captured everything, wanted to really put it out there. We had to pull it back because I didn't want to be the guy on Fox News saying fuck the government and all that.
Yeah.
But I needed a place for all you guys to go and work. And I wasn't going to stop, so we kept doing it. You know what I mean?
So it's going to get bigger and better.
Yeah, and now that we're
dealing with all this bullshit
now
right
that
now.
we're
Sorry,
open,
but,
no, it's okay. But now that we're open, now shows they're not as packed because there's a lot more to offer. But you know what? I'm a guy who's all about abundance and not scarcity. And this is New Jersey. We're in fucking North New Jersey. There's more people in this area than anywhere in the world. If I was in Montana and I had a comedy club, maybe I'd be worried about other places and this and that. Right now, people are spreading their wings. They're going to see other things. So shows have been a little light. But the best of the best come here, and they make people laugh. And some of the best audiences come here. And we have great crowds. We have some of the best comics in the world, and that's all this place. If it wasn't for comedy, I would have been out of here. And that would be a shame because this business is 40 years old, and it was left to me, and I was done with the restaurant business. But this room and comedy has brought me back because you guys brought you guys.
Fuck yeah, man.
No, it's true. That's true. comedy brought me, it was because I hate this fucking grind. This grind sucks.
The moment I met you, I said, this fucking guy likes comedy more than he likes fucking restaurants.
Yeah, this grind
no.
sucks.
I was like, he loves
He
his ribs.
disappears with me
but-
half the night.
But
the
you know what?
restaurants
To
are
make
with
you
This guy's a
guys, to
fucking
give you guys,
fan.
you know, in a way, it's like I'm like I try to. I'm nothing else but maybe just the couch that you guys lay on in your therapy for the comics, and I just try to treat every single person with the same. I'm in the hospitality business, so whoever comes into my place, I just want to make you feel like you're in my home. That's it.
I think you haven't
that's
seen
it.
nothing yet. Things are just opening. Summer. It's gonna be a hot fucking summer. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Get ready. Shit's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
But
and I
at
just want
the
to
same
let you guys
time,
know.
it's vacation time, so
It is.
Some people go to the Jersey Shore.
Absolutely, it's going to be a little slower. And last year it's busier. That's why my expectations fuck you. You know, expectations can really fuck you.
Yeah.
So in your mind, yeah, it should be fucking. It should be lines out the door. That's not. You're right, Barry. Mr. Ribs, you're right, Mr. Ribs. And
Mrs. Figs.
yeah, what pronoun we going by? Miss Figs.
Fat. I go by fat. Yeah.
But you know what? Yeah, so my expectations are a little lower, but that's why we got people producing shows. We have so many killer shows lined up. But it's a marathon for me. And I'm just so grateful for I'm just so grateful for comedians, and I'm so grateful for true comic people that are truly care about comedy and love to laugh. That's it, man. And I'm gonna leave this to you guys. That's all I gotta say. Tons of shows. Go to tipscomedy.com. Soon it'll be the Dojo of Comedy. I'm just a slacker and too much going on, but right now, tipscomedy.com.
Tipscomedy.com.
Yes, sir.
And you know, besides I'm just gonna
Yes,
I'm gonna be honest.
sir.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. Besides comedy, the fucking food is fantastic.
Everything is good
Last
here.
time I had ribs and mashed potatoes on the train, and
You had
people were like smelling it. It was
Ribs,
fucking
baby.
great.
That's hacky if you say that.
Ribs on ribs. And the
Sorry.
fucking food's good too.
The
I feel
onion
like
rings.
I'm winning now.
You know,
you might be.
I think that the attitude of long haul, building it up, is always how you got to go, because from this, I've always done events as well since for a young age, and I've dealt with a lot of people that were like going into doing an event, and I'm always like, build it small. Like any of these events, any of these big bike rallies or anything started as like some shit in somebody's backyard and usually got out of hand. And anybody that aimed for that right off of the bat, those pinnacle bike rallies or monster truck shows or whatever it was, would always blow their wad on the first show. Nobody came because nobody knew that it was a thing.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a couple years before anybody knows that an annual event is actually a thing. And then that would be the end of it. So you really need somebody that gets understands the restaurant business first and has a functioning business to have a home, and then is into it. Yeah, that's me.
You're a monster truck driver?
No, I rode freestyle
BMX.
motocross.
Oh, that's fucking.
FMX. Everybody
Oh,
gets
okay.
confused. It's fine.
Oh fuck yeah. Because I was like, monster trucks.
He's boys with- he's
He's
boys
talking
with-
about monster trucks. Like, where did that come from? Then I see that. I'm like, you
So
fucking
I
drive monster
drove.
trucks?
No,
He's boys with Travis Pastrana.
I drove.
pastrami.
I
He
mean, I
calls him
wouldn't
T.
say
pastrami.
boys with him.
I would say that. And I
If
just
I
did,
ran
actually.
into
I just
him,
said that.
if I ran into him, he'd be like, "Hey, what's up? How you been?" And I'd be like, "Hey, what's up? How you been?"
That's
But that's not really
That's
boys.
how I mean,
That's what it's like with every comic thing.
Yeah,
You see, like, I
exactly.
know Barry, I
He
love
would
Barry.
at least know who I
I
was.
see
That
other
proves
guys, they're
nothing.
Like, hi, okay, bye.
All it proved is that he has face recognition of at least who I am.
Your
That's
bald
it.
face and beard looks like everybody ever. So you can just be
I
like,
stayed
yeah.
at his house, so he at
All
least
right, yeah,
he
yeah.
does
I
actually.
mean, no,
know
I
me.
know.
Jason Statham?
I wish. Or Vin Diesel. I guess
Yeah.
younger Vin Diesel. Now he's
You gonna see
blown
the
it.
next
So
Fast and
Fitz,
Furious
That's
movie or
too
what?
fat.
Ask the two newer dudes a question like,
Yeah, ask the newer dudes
I mean,
a
you guys
question.
are like me. What am
Are
I
you
gonna
guys
ask you?
circumcised?
Yes, thank you. Shout out to God.
Shalom.
They
Dave,
made
you're
me
circumcised too?
Circumcised.
Of course I am, man.
No, you're Jewish. I thought Jews didn't get
Jews
circumcised.
They get it early.
circumcised.
That we
The brisk.
invented the circumcision.
Oh,
Not that I support it.
Judaism
They're
is
like-
so confusing.
Yeah, Candelia. Yeah, Crystalia. Yeah, Crystalia.
No, that's when you fuck 17-year-olds.
They're like,
Because
they
it's
want to-
ephebophiles.
With your circumcised dick, although his is probably uncircumcised.
Jews need a rebate on that dick. They're like, nah.
No tip.
Taxation,
No
bitch.
tip. No
TJ,
tip.
what do you go for Corona Light? That's all they had, or
No, it's the summer.
He's
man. I'm
watching
trying
his
to-
weight.
I am trying to watch.
He's a
my
beach
weight.
Look
guy.
at him.
Look at him.
He's got him. He didn't even listen when you left, or you could have handed him to Brian or whatever. You just leave him out here to be like, it's like people smoking light cigarettes.
Does that
They
taste
smoke
different
2
than the
packs a
regular
day.
one?
Like just
Yeah,
smoke
yeah. It's a
one
little
pack
light.
of regulars.
Tastes good?
You fucking-
Yeah, I
like
like it.
The Heineken Light I had years ago was horrible. Like
Years ago.
Yeah,
Are you
Light.
sober?
I'm basically a sober dude, but I will imbibe. Is that too
What was
fancy a
that
word?
In
I,
what?
I feel
In
like I'll be
marijuana
honest.
or
I don't
booze?
feel like that's a word.
I'll imbibe in
What'd you
weed
say?
and alcohol.
Is that a word?
It
a word.
depends on my mood or whatever.
No
You know
joke.
what I mean? So I'm not totally sober. If
Are
you
we
will.
smoking in here? I saw a fucking.
No, we can't inside.
Oh,
If
Have
the
you ever had
restaurant
Heineken
closed,
Light?
then
I'm
we
sorry.
could.
Sorry,
What?
Ever had Heineken Light?
Yeah, it's fine.
Horrible taste.
Yeah,
Horrible.
yeah.
Shout out to Heineken. Suck
Yeah,
my balls.
Shout out. Shout out.
There goes the sponsor.
They sponsored this podcast. Thanks a lot.
No,
Motocross and
only
Heineken Light.
Hero Soap does.
No, this
Balls
was
are good, Heineken. That's what I meant. Balls are good.
a cold cock whiskey. That's what that was the ad for.
Nice.
Um,
Oh, I'll
So-
be honest. I never
Fire.
noticed that it was called cold cock
Yeah.
whiskey.
But
That's-
that
So-
was added to it though. You
We-
can tell by the text like that.
Yeah,
was-
yeah,
and
it
it
was.
says Radical.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Okay,
That
like,
Yeah.
was
who
legit.
wrote that?
That's the
Lil
gear
Wayne?
company. No, that's the gear company
Yeah.
from Argentina. They had custom gear. So anyway, in
Motocross,
the original picture, I have a bike next to me. We shot that in my basement. I used to have like a studio in my basement. So we shoot it and we send it to them. And then when they send that fucking thing, it was in the local liquor store. And then I see that and I was like, "There's no bike." I go, "Now I'm just some asshole in a stupid fucking uniform." Like,
You're wearing
what the fuck?
Fanta colors. You're like a
Yeah.
Fanta drink.
I'm like, what the
Orange
fuck?
soda. Like,
Why would you get rid of the motorcycle? I was the only tie to anything other than I was just a fucking have a
Yeah.
One
stupid
of the village people.
You look
Yeah.
like you talk to my girlfriend.
yeah,
I'm gonna knock
minus
you
a
out.
motorcycle. What the fuck is going on there?
Nah, dude, you look
you
so
need
normal.
context.
man vibes.
You look
This
like
is like every
Channing
news-
Tatum in 21 Jump
This
Street.
is like
You're
every
I'm gonna
news
knock you
headline,
out.
right? No context at all. Just some guy in some stupid fucking
No, news
uniform.
is pretty good.
Yeah,
at
good
giving it.
eyebrows.
So riding a bike, have you broken a lot of bones?
Yeah.
What was the worst? What was the worst boner that you broke?
His head.
uh,
He broke his whole head.
well, I injured my brain.
No,
a
brain,
couple
yeah,
times,
not head.
Concussion? You mean? Like?
Yeah.
God, dude.
I mean, but I wouldn't. I don't know. It's honestly circumstances around injuries. I feel like almost as much, probably as much or more than the injuries. Like this one, I didn't get it fixed. It's a shitty bone to break. I didn't get it
Wrist.
fixed. Yeah, it's a navicular, or they call it a scaphoid. There's a little teeny part of it, and it's notorious for breaking. And there's one blood vessel, and the original doctor was like, it might heal, and just cast it to me. Well, it didn't heal, and then that little piece of bone started to die. So then they just screw it to the rest of the fucking bone, and then eventually that little bone breaks apart, and then my body just absorbs it. So I have a big bone with a screw sticking out of, running around in my wrist. So I got like bad arthritis. Eventually I just had them take the screw out, and the other piece of bone is missing. So that's a super fucking nagging like pain in the ass. And this leg, I broke my tibial plateau, did my meniscus, broke my tib fib. It was compound, so it come out the side. I was in some random hospital. I told them they weren't doing it, and I went to the same guy that did my shoulder, and then I got a bad infection, and so then I was on antibiotics, this and that. I have plates, 2 plates in it. The original doctor told me that the infection wouldn't totally be gone until I got the plates out, which I haven't done because it seems like a real drag.
And then you started doing stem cell. When
so
did you
the-
When did you kick into stem
No,
cell?
I haven't ever
Because you're
done
telling me
stem
all this
cell.
shit. I'm like,
I
how
was
are you
trying
walking?
to go. I was trying to go to. I have a friend in Panama, and I was like, I should go to Panama and get some real fucking stem cells. But I haven't done that. I take
What about
shit
hair plants?
over the. It's fake. Best case scenario, right, Barry? You look like a toothbrush. You ever seen anybody with good hair transplant?
Ribs, I'm proud of Barry. He's never shaved. He's
Ribs
like,
looks-
yeah, this is what I got.
That's what
You're
my
like,
hair would look like. It would just be brown.
I'd rather that.
Take it to the zoo, Rocky.
You're talking about potentially taking it all off?
No, I'm talking to him. Yeah, no, I like what you're doing. You just leave it.
I get different opinions. Like some people need a certain shape of a head to go bald.
Yeah.
I may not have that.
I think it looks.
I feel
cool.
like you have a
I think
good
it looks
hair.
cool that you got a little hair. I think it looks cool. But
It actually is so funny.
Now that it's white,
if you're still alive in 5 years, you might have to shave the
you're
top.
at it.
if you're still
Say if.
alive.
Yeah,
Did you
if.
say if?
If you got to shave the top and just go sides. Right now you're cool. You got enough where it looks okay.
I will never listen to me, motherfucker. I will never have that fucking around the side shit. That shit is never happening.
Wait,
Hey,
how
Barry,
much-
Barry,
yourself.
Barry, I got news
Go
for you.
fuck yourself,
I got
motherfucker.
news for you, Barry. You got it right now.
How much?
Because there's nothing on top.
That's
pal.
why I have no hair.
Newsflash,
Wait,
you
how
got
mu-
it.
How
right
much
now.
do you get the guy from Back to the Future? I've never seen it.
Oh
but
my God,
Do you get
all
that?
the
You've never seen Back to the
88
Future.
miles.
Another. You know, I had you on a pedestal as one of the young bucks. You are now number 10 compared to Dave. Dave is number 1.
You the fuck I'm talking
Stupid-ass
about.
question.
I asked you a question. That wasn't. I didn't say that.
You just sound like my ex-wife. I asked you a question.
This is going great, man.
Dave's not even saying anything, and he's just rising.
Dave
in the
is
ranks.
reviewing a podcast he's on.
Sometimes,
So-
yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here, Barry, because usually I have to carry this podcast because they're so uninteresting.
Got it.
These two.
You got a question for me, Dave? That's
Who?
interesting.
Are you talking to me?
Not corny.
Yeah, you two.
That's insane.
No, I was.
You're
You actually
insane.
answered my question because I was going to kind of ask what you didn't do that you regret that you didn't do, but it seems like starting earlier is what you regret, if I was following correctly.
You know, I was telling somebody recently, I don't envy any young kid who starts stand-up as a teenager. Like, there are some, as we know, start 14 years old. If you start 14 to, say, 21, and you're around a lot of fucking mental cases like me and others, and we are your role models, I feel sorry for you. So if anyone's listening and wants to try stand-up, because it seems like everybody and their mother wants to, start 25, 35 years old. Stay away while you're impressionable, because you're around knuckleheads like me and others. We are not, as Charles Barkley say, we're not your role model, man. You know?
That's what I've learned. I've learned that a lot of people think that, oh, you're going to go into someone's wing. Young comics, you got to understand that.
I wasn't saying that at all. You are so
do
retarded.
Not get fooled.
You are so retarded.
Do not think that these guys will take you under the wing. They will.
This is what
they
happens
will
when you're
betray
Italian
you
and
the moment
Spanish. Something happens in
you
the
have
DNA.
to
They become
fortify
They
yourself.
become Rain Man. That's a bad combination. This dude is really
Don't burn your bridges, but at
Are
the
you
same
ready?
time, you gotta be able to do your own goddamn thing.
Yo, Brian, bring him
Oh, here
another
we go.
drink. This may sober him up.
No, that might.
You're not
Yo,
gonna get it.
10:45.
You,
Gotcha.
Oh, it's 10
Might
now.
get
Like
mad.
45.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I'm gonna show him what happened.
10-minute walk.
For a second, that looked like a sonogram. For a second.
There he is.
Yo, what's wrong with the TV, yo? I thought you had. I thought you
I
had
don't think
it.
this is funny at all.
I thought you had Roku.
This thing I'm wearing.
All right, let's
This
see.
is,
Press the button to
radiation
turn the
suit.
channel.
Radiation suit. Of course. Because of all the fallout from the
Oh, you guys hear this on the
CJ, where do you see the resemblance with me and him? Is it the eyes? What do you see? The nose? What do you see?
Television.
I'll be honest. I mean,
We're talking about
you're
Christopher.
on my side, so I don't.
Good on television.
Do you still like me?
Whoa, this is it. This is the part coming up, Doc.
It's you if you were like 20% more handsome. He's a more handsome
Yo,
version of
imagine
you.
if I lost weight. Come on now.
What did I just say?
Yo, what's the resemblance with me and him?
I mean, just old white guy with fucking balding with white hair.
Yeah.
It's pretty
I guess
simple.
that's it.
Yeah.
It's not that fucking.
That's all it is. It's just
not that
white
big,
hair
Barry.
and
It's
it
not a
sticks
fucking-
up.
It's a sticking
That's
up
it.
part.
It's
It's
a
a
fucking
sticking
It's
Vinci
not
Code.
actually your face. You're just a white
Yeah,
guy
it's not your
with
face, it's the
white
sticking up part.
with gray hair that sticks up.
So in other words,
He's
if
like,
I went
yo, what did I
bald, then
do
don't
to
look
be
like
like
you.
We all look alike.
Yeah.
Guess what? We all look alike. It doesn't matter.
Clint, I was just talking to him. Did
Oh, were you? I didn't even notice that. I was trying to interject.
Fuck yeah.
Everybody's retarded here.
He'll fuck you up. You got
Not
no
me,
name.
dude. I'm not retarded. My mom raised me right.
I would never
I
hit
believe
the
in
elderly.
Jesus Christ.
It's Christ.
I would
Yo,
never
do I
hit
look
the
like
elderly.
Christopher Lloyd, or is it just the hair?
It's just his hair.
It's the hair up top, dude. It look,
Seriously, I'm asking the VIP.
Sorry,
here.
sorry.
What do you
He's very specific as to who's talking, isn't he?
I know. I cannot stand my chin.
It's the first. Yeah, it's the first thing you go to.
It's fake
I
on
agree.
TV. I added that. That's CGI, your chin. Don't even worry about it, bro.
up, dude.
Neither one of you
I
guys.
think
Don't
it
even
is
worry
a-
about
You're
it.
right. I think it is
It's
a-
CGI, your
Look at my
chin,
chin all
whatever.
day, and I'm
It's
like,
all
oh my god, I have to
CGI,
lose so
CGI'd
much weight.
No, I
think
CGI'd
told
it.
you that shit, but I'm gonna
Big
join- I'm gonna
laugh.
start
Like
boxing
last
tomorrow.
night, he got a big-
Oh, let's box
Tuesday.
each other.
Some people think
No,
I
let's
got
box
Bernie
each other.
Sanders
I'll lose.
all of a
I
sudden.
need my asthma pump.
Are you actually starting boxing?
Am I what?
Are you actually starting boxing?
Yeah, I'm starting Tuesday. Tap Out Gym.
Hey, excuse me, guys. We're doing a podcast over here.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
You guys know?
This was going to devolve. We knew this was going to devolve.
Oh, yes.
Fine, I'm over it. He's got a blunt over there that I would like to partake in.
Yeah, we got to
so.
get a little high outside. Maybe do
Yeah.
our plugs.
Yeah, we get it.
That's it.
Let's end it.
All right.
Okay.
Don't tell me to fucking end it. That's it. One more hour of that.
All
One
right.
more hour. Nobody tells me what to do up here.
All right, Clinton, let's end it. End it.
There he goes again. 2 hours.
Clint, if it's
Barry,
okay.
you hear this fucking
Clint,
guy?
end
Barry,
it.
when was the
disrespecting me?
second time you did
Clint,
stand
end
up? We need another long story. Barry, when was the first
How
time you
about the
bombed?
second time you had sex? How old are you the
Hey,
second
Barry,
time?
tell us
What's the
about
first
your
thing you ever ate? Look, the camera's running out of batteries.
I know, it's a sign.
Tell us
From
about your
Uncle
first
Frank.
memory, Barry. Go home. Tell us about World War One. What was that like? All right, no, let's end it.
What was World War Zero like prior to World War
Yo,
One?
it was
When
me
there
and Brad Pitt. Yo,
Brad
War
Pitt
at
is
the
45.
World. I'm thinking of World to World.
Yeah, not Z,
you're
not
thinking
World War Z.
World War Z.
Zero before when it was just motherfuckers throwing rocks at each other.
Barry, tell us about when guns were invented. What was that like?
Anyone,
Yo, I had a musket.
Nobody's listening.
anyone who's still listening took the headphones out for that outburst that just took like they just probably
Oh, it happens all
All right,
the
dude,
time.
nice.
All right, listen.
Shit on the people.
Hero Soap.
TJ,
We got
nothing
some good
personal.
clips.
Go to
Brian,
Hero.
I got no more.
Hey, go to herosoap.com.
Brian's taking your seat.
I'm going to turn everybody else down. This is how I do it. Watch this. Watch this. Hello. All right, only me. Herosoap.com, everyone. That's how I can sit so close to these fucking monkeys in here. It's because I washed with herosoap.com, and now I smell like a fucking mint chocolate chip ice cream, don't I? So exactly like that. All right, you can actually get 20% off if you use the code FreeThinkers with an S at herosoapcompany.com. It is made in the U.S. It is sourced in the U.S. It's owned by Air Force veteran, and actually some of the proceeds go to first responders and veteran charities. All right? I was practicing talking while people were talking around me and remembering what I was saying. Because last night I did comedy at a strip club, and nobody listened, so it was hard. Exactly. All right. All right, sorry, people. This is no Carnival.